Hey guys, it's Rachel here, and I wanted to give you some tips on showing a home effectively to your buyers. So one of the things that I do to prepare myself when I'm gonna go out on showings is obviously I wanna pre-fill my addresses and make sure I know where I'm going, and then that way I have a good idea of the area, a good idea of what it is the buyers are gonna expect when we get into that area. The next thing you want to do when you pull up to the house, you want to make sure you park in a good location so that you're not blocking the driveway and you can't get blocked in. I'm going to talk about some safety tips on another video, but just keep that in mind because you don't want to have any kind of safety issues when you're showing a buyer. So that's always something to factor in as well. When you walk up to the house, you're going to have your Supra access ready because most houses are going to have some kind of a digital lockbox. And here in Texas, we use a Supra key. And so you have the app on your phone, you make sure you have the app updated, make sure you have it all logged in, do all this stuff ahead of time. Don't try to fumble around with your app and practice at your house. So if you don't know how to use that thing, I've got some training videos you can look at that will help you practice that ahead of time so that you don't kind of look like an idiot when you're standing at the door going, oh, I can't get the door open. So better thing to do is practice on your friend or your spouse or something. Take them out on some showings before you show your first buyers, okay? So once you get in the door, the best thing to do is go around the house and flip on all the lights. That way, when your buyer walks into each room, they can get a really good view of all of the lights and the rooms with everything, in a really good presentation because the lights are on. For example, I showed a $1 million home this morning and I went in and all of the lights were off. And I'm thinking, this listing agent should have had all of the lights on. And yes, it costs a little bit on the electricity, but man, that first impression when you walk in is so different walking into a dark space versus walking into a well-lit room that feels nice and open. So if you, as a buyer's agent, if you walk into a room that's like that, flip the lights on and go ahead and just kind of roam the house separate from your buyer to make sure that they're getting the best view of the house. The other thing I like to do is follow the buyers around. I don't necessarily follow them where I'm a foot behind them, but I do tend to just kind of stay behind them with an earshot, kind of where I can see them, make sure that they're not doing anything because obviously my license is on the line. So, for the safety of the sellers, but also I want to give them, the space that they want to so they can talk and they can kind of look around and not feel like I'm stalking them or something, right? Nobody wants a stalker. So give them some space, but also be within earshot. I don't like to lead people around the house. I'm not giving tours. This is not Disneyland. So just give them some space, let them roam and let them absorb it and ask them questions about what they like, what they don't like, and just walk them through that and let them have this experience on their own.